Previously on Pickle Heart's Books.
So I just finished reading The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. Okay, that's the book. It's about zombies. This book was so insane! It really needed more commas. I was not as involved with the characters as I have been with other stories that I have been so in love with. Maybe part of the reason is there wasn't a lot of dialogue in the book. It was a lot of just narration, and a lot of the narration seemed like a summary to me. Very close to 5 stars, very good book, oh my god, insane, go read it now. So go watch the whole review right now, before you watch the rest of this one, because this is kind of a continuation. Or if you've already seen it, great. If you don't want to watch the whole review, then maybe this won't be as good, but whatever. So I'm going to review the Forest of Hands and Teeth trilogy, which started with, obviously, the Forest of Hands and Teeth, and then it went to The Dead Toss Waves, and then The Dark and Hollow Places. So I'm not gonna talk about this one, because I did already. Click here if you would like to see the review if you haven't yet and you thought, oh, maybe I should because she just said she's not going to talk about it in this one. Watch it right here. Click, click, click. You're running out of time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. So I'm going to be talking about these two now. They're the second and third books in the series. First I'm going to rate the series as a whole 4.5 stars. Because I think after reading the second and third books, it kind of made me like the first one a little bit less. Because the second and third ones are way better, and you can tell that the author has like improved her writing. Like it's like the writing's a lot better, I thought, in the second and third one, and she does a much better job in building on the characters, and there's no little stupid summaries. It's full on action, complete descriptiveness. So it made me, and then I also realized too, because I gave the first one 4.5 stars, and that's really close to being perfect, and I gave The Hunger Games 5 stars, and I think that book was pretty perfect. And there's a bunch of other books that I gave 5 stars as well that are a lot better than these books. Not that these books aren't good, because they are awesome, seriously, they're really, really awesome. But I think I'm going to bump it down to just regular 4 stars, the first one. And I'm going to give the second one 5 stars, though. I loved the second one. The second one was glorious. And the third one, I'm going to give it 4 stars. And so, as a whole, the series, I'm going to give 4 stars. Because, for one, okay, the first book, with the summaries, and then not building on the characters. The second and third book built on the characters really well. They didn't have stupid summaries, but all 3 of the books had giant lacks of commas. They really, really, really needed more commas for a lot of the sentences to make sense the first time reading them. It was annoying! They were fewer and far between in the third one, except in the third one there was probably 6 pages where I was like, oh my gosh, this needs a comma, this needs a comma, this needs, like, in a row, where, whatever. All 3 books are being told by a different person, which when I found that out, after reading the first one and I found out that the second book was about somebody else, I was like, oh, well that's stupid. I kind of wanted to know how the rest of the story went in the first one, but it was really good. I really like that each story is being told by somebody different. It gives you a completely different perspective on the whole situation and the zombies and everything, which is kind of cool. And yes, it is different people telling the story, but it still has the same people in them. It still has the same important characters stay throughout the books. It's just a different person telling the story, and it's not a repeat. It's not like the second book is a repeat of the first one just being told by somebody else. It's still a continuation, just a continuation and somebody else telling the story, which I thought I wasn't going to like, but I did like it. It was really cool. All 3 of them are obviously about zombies, and like the main theme of the book is like your will to survive, right? But they all have very different feelings. They all have completely different objectives throughout the story. They're obviously the zombies, and the running from the zombies and surviving through the zombies is the main theme in all of them, but they each have their own very distinct essence. They each have their own very distinct essence. So, each character does tell the story a little bit differently, which is good. And again, each one is about something completely different, and without giving anything away, I can't tell you what it is. I told you in the first review for the first one that it's slow moving, it doesn't get into the whole zombie thing right away, but it does end up happening. The second one, no, I can't tell you. The second one has a lot of zombie, though. The second one is a lot of running from zombies, which I think that might be one of the reasons why I like the second one a lot, because it was a lot of running. And it was running from people, running from zombies, running from people, running from zombies, and so that was good. That was exciting the whole time. This one was exciting, like, from the first page. It was ridiculous, which is this one, the second one. The second one started off intense, and it was intense the whole way through, like, the whole way through. I was like, oh my god, the whole time. And then the third one, it didn't start off intense, but it was very intriguing because of the person that it was about. I can't tell you who it is or why, but obviously when you start reading it, you'll understand. You're like, oh, that's what she was talking about. So it was intriguing at the beginning, and then it had some intensity, and then it was completely different, because it was not... The zombies were I felt like they were a very little part of the third book. They were there, they were present, but it was not at all... it was about them basically surviving something completely different that had nothing to do with the zombies. I like the second one the best, The Dead Toss Waves. This was my favorite. And then The Dark and Hollow Places was my second favorite. And then the first one, The Forest of Hands and Teeth, was my least favorite. But I still like them all. And I did mention too that in the first one that if she got rid of some of the summaries and made them more detailed, the books would be longer and it wouldn't lose my attention. And these two books are longer! Probably because she took the summaries away, and they still have my attention. So, they are good books. I think you should read them. I don't think they're like the next Hunger Games or anything like that, but I think they are comparable. If you do like the Hunger Games or Divergent even, I think you might like them because it has that same kind of atmosphere. Just, you know, like the needing to survive and stuff, and there's a little bit of love and stuff tossed in there as well. So I think it would appeal to people who like those types of books. I don't think they rank as high as those two, but they're up pretty high. They are good books. I'm kind of sad that these books do not belong to me and I have to give them back because I want them on my bookshelf. 4 to 5 stars as a complete series. The author repeats the gestures that the people do all the time. Like, there's someone who always puts his hand on the back of his neck. Every page, and he grabbed the back of his neck. He grabbed the back of his neck. Like, oh my god, okay, I get it. He grabs the back of his neck a lot. And like, there's someone who's really hot, and it's like, oh, I felt his heat, and he was hot, and I felt the heat radiating off his skin. I knew it was him because of the heat. It's like, okay, I get it. He's hot. Like, you could think of other words. So that might be another one of the things that brought it down a little bit, was the annoyingness of how she used the same descriptions all the time. She should use a thesaurus. But, okay, so lack of commas, needs to use a thesaurus. The first book doesn't build on the characters very well, but the other two build on the characters very well. Exciting plot, good characters. Interesting that each book is told by a different person, but still, you still know about the other characters from the other books. And it's just, they're good. Yeah, they're good. I just feel like they're not as close as some of the amazing books that I've read, but they are very good, and I think you should all read them. Do it. Now. I'm back. I just finished doing my review, and then now I'm torn between my rating. I don't know if 4 stars is good enough. I feel like... I feel like maybe it should be 4.5, but now I don't know. Because it was good. It was very good. Now I'm feeling stressed because I don't know what rating to give it. Somebody else needs to read these books and help me a little bit. The second one, definitely 5 stars. I'm comfortable with that. The first one, I'm comfortable with 4 stars. And the third one, I don't know if it should be 4 or 4.5 or 5. Also, maybe 5. Maybe I should just give the whole series 5 stars. What is wrong with me? 4 or 5 stars. I don't know. I don't know! I'm not understanding why I'm so torn between the rating of these books. 4.5, okay? I'm giving the series 4.5 stars. That's it. Goodbye.